Good morning, everyone. It's hard to believe it's already episode 10, and it was quite encouraging looking at the news this morning, seeing a few restrictions are being lifted. So enjoy today's snack. I'm hoping you're going to be working those arms today. All right. And of course, we're up to our 2-minute hover. So let's get started with standing spine roll. So standing spine roll, your flexibility test. So we'll do it at the beginning and again at the end. So just check your flexibility. So if you do have a sore back, make sure that you have an extra towel or a sore neck so you can pop that behind your head. So deep breath in, grow taller. Breathing out, chin to chest, peel your spine off that imaginary wall. Notice how far down you're reaching. Bend down and use the abdominals, and from halfway up, tap with the pelvis and squeeze the core to the upright. And again, deep breath in, grow taller. Breathing out, chin to chest, try to get as much movement through the vertebrae as possible. Notice how far you are reaching. Crown of the head to the floor. Line, breathing out, use those abdominals to support your spine, uncurl to the upright. Last one. Breathe in, grow taller. Breathing out, chin to chest, and roll it down. Notice how far you are reaching, and use those abdominals to uncurl to the upright. We start with a little bit of balancing. So standing on one leg, you can have a chair close by if you need to. So first of all, make sure that you are keeping your hip bones level, that you're not hitching up through your hip. So standing on that one leg, knee up to the level of your hip. So just check those hip bones, squeeze the core, pinch through the buttocks. So straighten and bend. Nice and strong through that supporting leg, and be aware of your tripod foot position on that supporting leg. Nice and strong through your center, so squeeze your core, have your shoulder blades in pocket. One more. Keep your hips facing forwards. Squeeze the buttocks to take that leg out to the side and back. So just make sure that you're not twisting through your hips. Keep your hips facing forwards and nice and strong through that supporting leg. So once again, be aware of your tripod foot position. Don't allow that foot to roll inwards. One more, take it out and hold it there. Just check that your hips are square on. Try keeping that knee up to the level of your hip and straighten and bend. Squeeze your core. Shoulder blades are in pocket. Strong through your center. One more. Bring that leg back, arms up, and eyes closed. No cheating. Whoa. And easing out of that, give that leg a little shake. And to the other side. Once again, check those hips, keep them level, knee up to the level of the hip, straighten and bend. So squeeze your core, pinch through the buttocks. And keep those hips level. Try to keep that knee up to the level of your hip. One more. And now keep your hips facing forward, squeeze the buttocks to take that leg out to the side and back. So be aware of that tripod foot position and squeeze the buttocks to take that leg to the side. One more, take it out, hold it there, just square your hips off. Try keeping that knee up to the level of the hip, straighten and bend. Keep your whole torso facing forwards and nice and strong through that supporting leg. Pinch through the buttocks, squeeze your core. One more, bring that leg back, arms up, and eyes closed. And easing out of that, give that leg a little shake. So we will also do some heel raises, about stability with those ankle joints. Imagine you're holding something between your ankles, so that your feet stay nice and straight, you're not sickling out through those ankles. Squeeze the core, pinch through the buttocks, tuck under with the tailbone. Slowly up for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold it there for 5. Squeeze the core, squeeze in from the inner thighs, pinch the buttocks slowly down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Try and contract those small muscles with the feet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold it there. You want your hips to be above the ankles. Squeeze in from those inner thighs, those feet nice and straight, slowly down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep it there. Hold it, hold it, hold it. And then down. One more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up as high as you can and keep those feet nice and straight, no sickling out in those ankles. Raise the arms up. And slowly down. 1, 2, 3, 4. And down. And relax. Just do a pec stretch against the wall. So try to keep your forearm upright as opposed to like that. So you're getting that rotation as well. So elbow a little bit behind your shoulder, forearm and wrist above the elbow, feet towards the center of the room. Lean forwards into your stretch until that stretch comes through into the front of the chest. If you do have a sore shoulder, just be mindful of this one and don't lean forwards too much. Just always within your limits of discomfort. Maintain a pelvic tilt. Turn the feet towards the wall, easing the arm off, and over onto the other side, keeping that forearm upright, feet towards the center, leaning forwards, looking forwards, and relax your shoulders, no hunching. Turn the feet towards the wall and easing that arm off the wall. We've got one more in standing, a nice functional one, that single leg squat. So we're wanting to work the thigh and the buttock, but if you do have sore knees, you can either just not go down quite as deep into the squat, otherwise you can choose to sit on your chair. And so just a good, easier one, sitting well back in that chair. And lock your knee out straight. Make sure your foot is nice and straight, not turned out. Hold it for a good count of 5 and slowly down. So 10 each leg as opposed to alternating, keep on the same leg. So that is if you have sore knees. Otherwise, so Sheridan, that's probably a better one for you to do. Otherwise, feel free to hold onto your hand weights and just that correct technique. So I've got my full weight on my left leg. The right leg is just behind. Make sure that your back is straight. So watch out for that arching. So get your pelvis in the right position. Knee stays behind the line of the toe. So drop those buttocks down and back. Squeeze the buttocks. You want your hip to be above that ankle. Don't keep rocking back onto that back ankle. And make sure that your kneecaps are in line with your second toe. Watch out for any rolling in. All right, doing it with me today. We are aiming for 15 each leg. Count your own in case you're not quite in time with me. Breathe out to lower, deep breath in to come up. So keep your movement flowing and no cheating, no pushing up through that floor with the hands. Push through the front heel and squeeze the buttocks to drive yourself up. Try and drop those buttocks as low as you can. Keep your knees aligned with the second toe, so no inwards rolling with those knees. Keep your knee behind the line of the toes as well. So drop those buttocks down and back. Make sure you're tucking under with the tailbone. That's one more for me, for 15 on that side. Make sure that your feet are hip distance apart, full weight on that right leg. Chest to the thigh, drop those buttocks low, squeeze the buttocks to come up. Breathe down to lower, deep breath in to push up. squeeze the buttocks to drive yourself up. Keep that tailbone tucked under. You should have no discomfort into the lower back. If you have discomfort in the knees, stop a little earlier. Drive up through that front heel and squeeze the buttocks to push yourself up. One more. And that takes me to 15. Well done. Those legs should be warmed up and ready for a stretch. I'll just bring this in a little closer. And we'll stretch through the legs. So hip flexor stretch. The plunge forwards with that right foot, hands on either side of the foot. And if you want that firmer stretch, tuck the toes and try and straighten that back knee. Keep your hip down low. Lean slightly to the left-hand side so that you do feel that stretch at the front of that left hip. Make sure that shoulder blades are in pocket, neck in line with the rest of the spine. Don't allow your head to drop. Changing sides. So whenever you are stretching, compare left and right side. And if you are particularly tight on one side, repeat that or make that your homework as well. So it's all about bringing balance to the body. Leaning slightly to that right-hand side, making sure that stretch is coming through into the front of that hip. Now we are going to kneel. Once again, if kneeling is not agreeing with your knees, then don't do it. Otherwise, you can, if you have sore knees, put some pressure through the hands. You can also have a cushion or a towel to take a bit of pressure off. Okay. Otherwise, sitting upright with a straight back. So get that pelvis in the right position. And if that's easy for you, leaning back within your limits of discomfort. So the purpose is to stretch your thighs. Tuck under with the tailbone. Keep pressing those knees down towards the floor. Now when you come up, make sure you come up symmetrically. Hand in the center, squeeze the core to push yourself up. And now a thigh stretch. So you can be over onto your side or onto your stomach, and you can use your band if you're back into your stomach. So the important thing is you are maintaining a pelvic tilt, isolate into that thigh, make sure you're not going into that arch in your lower back. So I'm going to do it over onto the side. That bottom leg, way forwards, tuck with your pelvis, lock your pelvis heel to the bottom, and pull the knee back and behind your torso. So always be aware of the rest of the body, make sure you're not doing funny things with the head, looking forwards, neck in line with the rest of the spine. So heel to the buttock, pull back and behind. You're trying to get a 9 out of 10 of discomfort into the thigh, but nowhere else. And over onto the other side. So those tight thigh muscles are implicated in a sore lower back. It's putting the pelvis into the wrong position. So be aware of stretching them out effectively. Drop that knee down to the level of the hip and pull back and behind. Make sure that you are tucking with the pelvis. Your head nice looking forwards. So you're not straining through your neck. Try and pull back that extra couple of centimeters. And easing out of that. And now hamstring stretch. So now's a good time if you've got a sore neck, pop that towel in behind your head. And you want to feel a hamstring stretch behind your thigh. Band wide around the forefoot of your right foot. If you do not have a band, hold either behind your thigh or behind your calf. Make sure your foot is straight. If you want that firmer stretch, straight in the left leg. Pressing up with the heel, down with the hip. Bend the elbows, pull your knee towards your shoulder. Pull your forefoot down. Make sure that your foot is nice and straight and that you're not tilting off to one side there. Keep your shoulder blades pressed into the floor. Make sure it is coming through into that hamstring. Otherwise, pull your knee a little closer to your chest. Now, still on that same leg, bend your left knee and allow both knees to flop out to the side. We're stretching through the inner thigh. Keep equal pressure through onto the buttocks. Straighten that right knee. Ease that leg back up to the center. Now we're going to do the outie band stretch. If you have got a hip replacement, just stick with your hamstring stretch. Don't bring the leg across with a hip replacement. Left leg out straight. Turn your foot out so that you're leading with your heel and bring that leg across your body, still keeping that buttock pressed to the floor. So lead with your heel. Keep that leg pulled in towards your chest, stretching the outie band on the outside of that leg. Beeline to keep your pelvis stable and keep those shoulder blades in pocket. Yes, Sandra, get that leg across your body a little bit more. Ease back to the center and changing sides. So hamstring stretch, feeling it there. If you straighten the other leg on the other side, same thing on this side, think of symmetry with whatever you're doing. So pressing up with the heel, down with the hip, bend the elbows, knee towards your shoulder. And just check that your foot is nice and straight. Keep the tailbone pressed onto the floor, no lifting of that tailbone. And now bend your right knee and allow both knees to flop out to the side, still keeping equal pressure through onto the buttocks. Tuck your chin in, keep your neck long. And legs back up to the center, straighten that right leg. Now remember, if you've got a hip replacement, don't do this, just keep it straight. Otherwise, outie band, lead with your heel, bringing that leg across your body, still keeping that leg up as vertically as you comfortably can. You can soften the knee if you need to. Keep that left buttock pressed onto the floor and bring that leg across the body. Easing out of that and your buttock stretch. Left foot on the right knee, hold behind your right thigh or that firmer stretch in front of your right knee. Now try dropping that right knee slightly to the right hand side, looking for that firmer stretch into your left buttock. Nice deep relaxed breaths. Remember to get the breath to the base of the lungs. And changing sides. Holding behind that left thigh or your firm stretch in front of that left knee. Hugging the thigh to the chest and then looking for that firmer stretch. Try dropping that left knee a little to the left hand side. Relax the tailbone back towards the floor. And be careful to keep shoulder blades in pocket, chin tucked in. And easing out of that. All stretched out and ready to work those abdominals. So we'll just start with perfect abdominal curl, waken up those abdominals. Remember to use your breathing. The breathing does help to make the exercise more effective. Be aware of when you have your natural curve and when your curve is flattened. So for perfect abdominal curve, we have our natural curve. So just lift up, lengthen out, and keep your natural curve. Knees together, feet flexed and apart. Either interlink your fingers behind your head, not your neck. Otherwise, cross hands over to opposite shoulders. That's if you have a sore neck or you would like a challenge. So squeeze ribs to hips. Lift your shoulder blades off the floor and then just a small release back. Moving through a very small range of movement. Flex your feet strongly and squeeze your knees together. Keep the buttocks relaxed. Nice deep breaths. So breathe out to curl up, breathing in a small release back. On your breath out, flatten through the rib cage and flatten those abdominals. As you curl up, also engaging through the pelvic floor. Moving through that just very small range of movement. One more. Relax it back. So be careful not to pull from neck or shoulders, work from those abdominals. Make sure the tailbone is resting down. You have that natural curve. And then another set, just slow and controlled. The breathing is also giving you the speed at which to be moving. Breathe out to curl up, breathing in that small release back. Squeeze ribs to hips. One more. Relax it back. Now interlink the fingers, elbows out wide, and rotations. Contract forwards. Look right across towards that opposite wall. Look to your knees to the center and across to the other side. Don't let your elbow rest on the floor, and make sure that you are keeping your legs nice and still, because you're thinking of three things as you rotate: squeezing the knees, squeezing the core, as well as engaging through the pelvic floor. Nice deep breaths. Breathe out to rotate, and a deep breath into the center. One more to each side, and relax it down. Another moment you've all been waiting for, your 2-minute hover. I know you've probably been snacking on this each day, so it'll be nice and easy today. But remember, with the hover, just make sure that you're feeling it in the right place, which is those abdominals. I'm not wanting you to feel discomfort into the lower back. So if you are feeling it in your lower back, either try tucking under more with the pelvis, and otherwise you're going to need to just go onto the knees, have a short break, join in again when you're ready. So just make sure that you're keeping safe while you are doing this. You can always stick to the easier variation. So your easier variation, so it's the way we start as well. Hips are at shoulder height. So look and check your position. And so we don't want it there, you're tucking under. And shoulder above your elbow. Now when you do lift it up, you want to be there, nice straight line. So get into position, tuck your toes, lift it, and hold it. So we are aiming for our 2 minutes, but that may consist of going up and down a few times, especially if you're feeling it into your back. So concentrate on that pelvic tilt and check that your hips are at shoulder height. Don't let them dip down, and make sure that they're not up there. So be aware of keeping hips at shoulder height and maintaining that pelvic tilt. Neck is in line with the rest of the spine. And shoulder blades are pressed down towards the hips. Maintain that tuck. Pinching through the buttocks will give you more stability. Concentrate on your breathing. Breathe in for a count of 4. Slow breath out for a count of 6. Breathe all the air out, squeezing core and pelvic floor. That is a minute. So try to keep going unless you're feeling it into your back. The shoulders are also working strongly. Maintaining that tuck under with the tailbone. Squeeze your core, that corset around your center. Keep that breathing deep and slow. And keep tucking under with the tailbone. That is a minute and a half. You have 30 seconds to go. Concentrate on your breathing. Make sure you're maintaining that tuck under with the tailbone. Feel the abdominals and not your back. Release it gently. And coming back into rest position. Well done. Funny that 2 minutes just seems a lot longer than 1.5, doesn't it? And it is still really hot. So sink your chest down low, flatten your spine. And easing out of that, and we'll do side to side. So a good one if you've got a sore lower back. So arms around shoulder level. Want you to get a stretch in through the pecs as well. So feet together, knees together. Push through with the hips. Take your knees as low to the floor as you comfortably can. Turning to look towards the fingers of the opposite hand. Squeeze knee and squeeze core and inner thighs as you lift back up again. Take it down as low as you can, keeping that shoulder down flat. Squeezing core and inner thighs to lift. Breathing out as you lower. And a deep breath in as you lift. Now one more. Now you can either keep the feet on the floor, or if you'd like to work a little harder, either into side by side, or you can do the pendulum where those feet are above the buttocks. So arms are in close to the side then, and you take your legs down as low to the floor as you can. Your shoulder does not lift off the floor, and try to have your feet above the hips as you bring it back up again. So that is your pendulum. You just want to do side to side, arms around shoulder level, halfway to make it easier, or as low to the floor as you can, where your opposite arm and shoulder remain flat on the floor. So choose your repetition. Do your breathing out as you lower, and a deep breath in as you lift. Breathing out to lower, squeeze core and inner thighs to lift. So toes together, heels apart for more of a challenge. Otherwise, you can have the legs in parallel to make it a little easier. Keep your shoulders down flat, turning to look to the fingers of the opposite hand. Breathing out as you lower, deep breath in to lift. You want to make it easier, just that side to side. So working the oblique abdominals. One more to each side, keeping your shoulders flat. And back up again, relax the feet to the floor. And now we'll do our twist. So if your back is sore, keep those knees vertically stacked as you bring the knees close into the right armpit. Otherwise, right leg out straight, left leg up and over, still bring that knee towards your armpit and relax that knee towards the floor within your limits of discomfort. So it is a firm stretch on your lower back. So just be mindful as to how that lower back is feeling. Don't force it, just try to relax into it. You will get a stretch in through that left hip as well. Make sure that your beeline so your back is supported throughout. Now, careful as you come out of this. Squeeze the core, use the abdominals, carefully and slowly up and across to the other side, either vertically stacked or left leg out straight, right leg up and over, and relax that right knee towards the floor, while keeping that left shoulder, that right shoulder, as flat as possible. Squeeze the core, use the abdominals carefully and slowly up, and hug your knees to the chest. Squeeze those knees in. That is a firm stretch on the lower back. Just relieve that lower back and give the knees a circle. And reverse your circle. All right. One more abdominal one. You can hold on to your hand weights. We're going to do the double leg stretch. And for a challenge, I will do an added variation. Now, if your neck is sore, once again, just pop that towel or cushion in underneath the head and keep the head resting down. And you will keep your lower back imprinted. So lift the buttocks up, move those buttocks out the way, and maintain a pelvic tilt. So now your basic, feet above the buttocks, legs are up more vertically if your back is sore. And we will do 2 large circles with the arms, then knees to the chest. So your added variation, we will flex and turn out and legs are lowered. 2 circles, keeping the head still and knees to the chest. So up more vertically is your easier one, legs lowered for more of a challenge. Now I'll talk you through 2 of the basic and then through an added variation, a bit of coordination here, 1 circle, arms and legs up vertically. Now, 1 arm, 1 leg on the same side. You can just take it to a 45 degree to make it easier, or low to the floor for a challenge. But what you want to concentrate on doing is keep those abdominals flattened and keep that forwards contraction. Don't lose that contraction. But feel free to keep that cushion on underneath. So we'll do one each side, finish the circle, knees to the chest. Hold hand weights for more of a challenge. Doing it with me, 2 with the 2 circles, lifting head and shoulders, extending the legs, either there or flex and turn out lower. Backs of the hands together, brush past the ears. Beeline more strongly for your second circle, and knees to the chest. Lifting head and shoulders, lower the legs to where your back is still imprinted. Backs of the hands together and brush past the ears. Nice large circles, head stays still, knees to the chest. If your neck is taking strain, keep the head resting on your cushion. So your added variation, feel free just to stick with those 2 circles. Lifting head and shoulders, extending 1 circle, arms and legs up vertically, just to a 45-degree or low to the floor, and back up again. Make sure it is same side of the body. Squeeze the inner thighs, finish your circle, and knees to the chest. Lifting head and shoulders, extending the legs. 1 circle, arms and legs up vertically, breathing out to lower, keep that forward contraction. Keep those abdominals pulled in and flattened. Finish your circle, and knees to the chest. Concentrate on beelining, flatten, don't let them die out. Lifting head and shoulders, extending. Nice big circle, arms and legs up vertically, beeline as you lower, squeeze core and inner thighs to lift, towards the leg you are lowering, squeeze the inner thighs, finish your circle, and knees to the chest. Lifting head and shoulders, extending the legs. If your head is lifted, tuck the chin in and look to your knees, arms and legs up vertically, breathing out to lower, deep breath in to raise. Look at the leg you are lowering, squeeze the inner thighs, beeline to finish, and knees to the chest. Feeling it on your back, lift those legs up more vertically, otherwise take a rest. Lifting head and shoulders, extending the legs. Beeline, big circle, arms and legs vertically, look towards the leg you are lowering. 1 arm, 1 leg, same side of the body, squeeze the inner thighs, finish your circle, knees to the chest. Lifting head and shoulders, extending the legs. Big circle, arms and legs up vertically, breathing out to lower, deep breath in to raise. Keep that lower back imprinted, squeeze the inner thighs, finish your circle, knees to the chest. You have 1 more. Lifting head and shoulders, extending the legs. Big circle, arms and legs vertically, breathing out to lower, deep breath in to raise. Keep the beelining, keep those abdominals flattened. Finish your circle and hug those knees in. Just squeeze your knees to your chest. All right, we're going to rock along the length of the spine to come to the upright. If your back is sore and you prefer just to stay down low and rock and circle, that's fine. Otherwise, you can hold behind your thighs. Now curve your back as much as possible. Keep those shoulders away from the ears. So you can hold behind your thighs, roll back smooth. You can let those legs flick back, or you can hold onto your ankles. Don't let your head touch the floor. Aiming for a nice smooth roll without flat spots. So you need to tuck with the pelvis to get that nice smooth roll. Curve into your back. Before you have too much fun coming out of that. And we will do a spiral stretch so that you're stretching through the side. So if you do have a sore back, just be really careful with this one. When you come out of it, you will face the straight leg to uncurl and just relax into it. Don't force it. It's going to be in this rotated position. So a deep breath in, rotate to the bent leg, and breathing out, take us up across to the straight leg. Hold the leg where you comfortably can. If you can reach your foot, hold the inside of the foot. Slide your hand between the shoulder blades, elbow tucked close. Twist your chest up to the ceiling, bend the elbow, armpit closer to that straight leg. You can go into the pretzel for a firm stretch. The hand walks forwards at a 45-degree angle. The other hand reaches over to touch the foot. Look underneath the armpit towards the ceiling. Consciously relax those stretch muscles and twist your chest up so that you feel that stretch along your side. May come into the lower back as well. One more deep breath. Stretch both hands out towards the straight leg. Now either facing the side or you can face the straight leg if your back is sore and slowly angle to the upper. Changing sides, leg out straight, foot at the level of the knee. So deep breath in, rotate to the bent leg, breathing out, take yourself across to the straight leg, holding the inside of the foot, slide the other hand down between the shoulder blades, elbow tucked in close. So twisting your chest to the ceiling, bending the elbow, armpit closer to that straight leg. Keep that foot up vertically, keep that knee locked straight. If you did the pretzel, doing the same on the other side. Looking underneath the armpit towards the ceiling. Nice deep breaths. One more deep breath. Stretch both hands out towards the straight leg, facing straight or bent leg. Squeeze the core and release it down. And it's time for some back strengthening. And you can hold onto your hand weights for your first one. So we're trying to target the upper back, the lower back, and your triceps with this one. So that's what I want you to concentrate on. So the legs are mat distance apart and your palms are facing inwards. So if you are holding those weights, keep them up vertically like that. Lift your arms higher than your torso, hitch your shoulder blades and release. Now watch out for pulling upwards with the neck. So looking down, head comes along for the ride. Lift your arms higher than your torso, hitch those shoulder blades and release. So get those shoulder blades squeezing, work into the upper back. Lifting up as high as you comfortably can, so that you feel that lower back working as you raise up. If you're finding it hard, just keep it small and subtle, don't lift as high. Breathe in to lift, breathing out to lower. Pinch those shoulder blades. So make sure you are squeezing into that upper back, that pinch of the shoulder blades. Release it gently. Okay. With the next one, we're going to put the arms in different positions. Now, if you do have sore shoulders and you would prefer just to alternate with the legs, then feel free to do so. But otherwise, try to join me for a few of these. We're going to work into the upper back, well, upper back and lower back once more. So you've got a choice. Easier variation is one arm, one leg here. Keep your pelvis nice and still. More of a challenge, lifting arms and legs equally up off the floor. Breathe in to lift, breathing out to lower. So you can put that rolled up towel or the folded towel in underneath your stomach to better support your back if your back is sore. So your more challenging one, get arms and legs lifting equally up off the floor. Straighten the knees so that your thighs are lifting off the floor, and try to keep your elbows as straight as possible. Squeeze your core. Always draw those tummy muscles away from the floor. One more. And release it down. Now your next one is with your arms out at a 45-degree angle. So your body's forming like a Y. So once again, if it is a bit much for those shoulders, feel free just to alternate with the legs, or you can do one arm, one leg. And now we'll keep the feet resting on the floor. Keep your elbows as straight as possible, but keep those shoulder blades in pocket. Thumbs are facing up. Breathe in to lift, breathing out to lower. Just going to do a few of these. Lifting up off the floor, gentle pinch between the shoulder blades. Your arms are in that Y position. One more. Now you're going to have your arms in line. Your hands are in line with your shoulders. And the feet will be on the floor once more. And you'll have your thumbs facing up. Lifting up to the ceiling and down. Lift the arms a little higher than your torso. Your thumbs will be facing up. And you'll do a gentle pinch between your shoulder blades. You should be feeling that lower back working by now. And release it gently. And we're going to go into back extensions. So hands next to your shoulders, think of flexibility into your lower back. Push onto the forearms, onto the hands. If your back is sore, you may only be coming up that high. Otherwise, you can take the hands further forward. So then you can see you're not arching through the back quite so much. It's also a little easier for your shoulders. Otherwise, those hands are next to your shoulders, shoulder blades are in pocket. No hunching onto the forearms, looking forwards, keep your hips on the floor, back onto the elbows and down. So onto the forearms, onto your hands, get as much bending into that lower back as you can, back onto the elbows and down. Now if that's easy, take a hold of both ankles. Flex your feet, push the heels to the ceiling, lift the chest, lift your thighs off the floor, release with control. Push those heels up, pull on your feet, release it down gently. Just be mindful of how the neck is feeling, keep your chin gently tucked in, but don't leave your head behind, and release it. Press the heels up, pull on the feet, release it gently. Heels to the ceiling, lift the chest, lift the thighs, release with control. Heels to the ceiling, raise chest and thighs, and release. Pushing up, and release. We've got one more. Release it gently, slowly into rest position. You should feel those back muscles have worked, and are leaving that stretch out. So make sure knees are wide, sink your chest down low, flatten your spine. Easing out of that, and we'll roll over onto our backs to do a few of the shoulder bridge. So if you've got a sore back, just stick with the easier variation. So feet are fist width apart, your ankle and underneath the knee, and shoulder blades are pressed into the floor, palms are facing up. Pelvic tilt, isolating into tummy and pelvic floor. Hold it there a moment. Sharon, make sure that that lower back is pressed flat onto the floor. As you lift up, then you squeeze the buttocks. You don't squeeze the buttocks to do a pelvic tilt. So once you lift up, then you squeeze the buttocks. Peel your spine off the floor. Push your shoulder blades into the floor. Keep that pelvic tilt. And knees are above your ankles. Squeeze those buttocks tight. Tuck with the pelvis. Roll your spine down. And the very last thing you do is release through that pelvic tilt. So pelvic tilt, hold it there a moment. Make sure your lower back is pressed flat and you're also engaging through the pelvic floor. Then squeeze the buttocks and peel your spine off the floor. Push your hips up high. Be careful to maintain that pelvic tilt and squeeze the buttocks, squeeze in from your inner thighs. And roll your spine down, one vertebra at a time. Last thing you'll do is release the pelvic tilt just to the neutral. Don't push forwards into a large arc. So either continue with that, otherwise join me for a few of the more challenging ones. So your hands are facing forwards. And you're going to squeeze the buttocks. Try to get that straight line from your shoulder to your knee. So still keeping those feet a fist width apart. Squeeze the buttocks, pushing up soft elbows. Pinch your shoulder blades and release. Breathing out to lift. Push those hips up that extra centimetre higher. feel the buttocks working. So if you have sore shoulders or a sore back, drop back to your easier variation, your bridging. If you are doing that easier variation, make sure that you are peeling your spine up off the floor. If you are doing this more challenging one, you are taking the buttocks straight down and pushing them straight back up again. Whichever one you are doing, when you are in that nice straight line, squeeze the buttocks to push your hips up towards the ceiling so that you do feel those buttocks working. Make sure that you are beelining. Keep those abdominals pulled in and flattened. We've got one more. Push those hips up high and release. Just with those wrists a little shake and hug your knees into the chest. Just squeezing them in. So your back muscles would have worked that one as well, so just relieve them and give it a circle. Reversing the circle. Alright. And holding onto your band for some arms. And try and get a chair now as well, because we will do some tricep dips. All right. Good, I've got my angel sitting on my shoulders. That's always good. So now with the first one, if you do have sore shoulders, do this one instead. You'll just take the arms back behind and gently squeeze your shoulder blades. So you're getting those shoulders back from them. So that is, if you've got sore shoulders, just avoid this first one that I will do. So pinch your shoulder blades to get that band away from your neck. Stretch the arms, keep tension in the band as you bring it back in. And you're wanting to make sure that you're symmetrical and not off to one side. So just check your positioning. Breathe out to stretch, breathe in to release. Now, aware of tummy in, tailbone down. So if you look at me sideways, my hips should be above my ankles. Watch out, Michelle, no swaying into your back, hips above the ankles. So just look down and check your positioning. And you should be aware of your pelvic tilt. Now stretch the band and you're going to do smooth pulses, 10 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And bring the band overhead. Now, hands are shoulder height. Concentrate on the upper back once again. You're going to be pinching your shoulder blades to stretch your band. Breathe out to stretch. Don't let the band touch the torso. Breathe in to release. So play around with how much resistance you need. Don't let the band touch the torso. Keep straight arms. Concentrate on your upper back. So you're squeezing your shoulder blades to stretch that band out. Breathe out to stretch. Breathe in to release. And release. And working the rotator cuff. Tuck your elbows in and rotate out equally with your forearms. So be careful that you're not doing working equally through both arms. So check for that symmetry as you rotate out. So tummy in, tailbone down, checking that your hip is above your ankle, not swaying into your lower back. Stretch it and we're going to pulse it. 1, 2, 3, smooth pulses. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold it there. And release. Relax through your shoulders. And now holding on to some hand weights. Okay. So standing on one leg or firmly planted on both, you're going to reach up just to shoulder height. Keep those shoulder blades in pocket, breathing out to lift, breathing in to lower. Nice smooth movement and no hunching of your shoulders. Breathe out to lift, in to lower. Squeeze your core nice and strong through your center. One more. Keep those arms lifted, change legs, and take the arms out. Hands are in line with the shoulder. Try to get that knee up to the level of the hip. Hands out to shoulder height. Breathe out to lift, breathe in to lower. Take as long to raise as you do to lower. Keep your shoulder blades gently pinched. And take it down, change legs, and we can rotate a cuff, tuck your elbows in. Elbow, shoulder, and wrist all at the same height. Rotate up, rotate down, and tuck in. Elbow, shoulder, and wrist all at the same height. When you come up, your wrist above your elbow, take it down, and tuck in. Keep your shoulder blades gently pinched. And keep those elbows out in line with your shoulders. Now straighten the arms, change legs, keep those arms lifted, and small circles. Make sure those arms are going back behind your torso as you pinch into that upper back. Reverse. Pinch your shoulder blades. Keep those arms nice and straight with soft elbows, don't lock them out. And hold them there. And relax. All right, we've just got tricep dips to finish it off. Now, if you if you've got sore shoulders and the tricep dips are a little bit too much for you, you can simply tuck your elbows in, straighten the arms, and bend. So keep your shoulders pinched. Keep those arms back behind your torso. Lock your elbows out straight so you feel the triceps, and then bend. Otherwise, rest in the chair and join me for a few tricep dips so that we feel those triceps. All right. So keep your torso upright and keep your shoulder blades pinched. So take yourself down, torso upright, make sure you're not up there, and make sure drop it down, push through your hands to push yourself up. Torso upright, not out there. Breathe out to lower, deep breath in to push up. You can do a smaller one to make it easier. Breathe out to lower, deep breath in to push up. Pinch your shoulder blades, keep the tips of the elbows facing backwards. Breathe out to lower, deep breath in to push up. Try and push up through the arms and not pushing up through your legs. So try and take as much weight through those arms as possible. Breathe out to lower, deep breath in to push up. One more. Well done. All right. And I'm sure those shoulders need a little stretch out at the end of that. So take the arm across your body, relax the shoulder away from the ear. And swap sides, have that arm across your body and gently pinch your shoulder blades. So your hand is on your elbow. Slide, now tricep stretch, slide your hand between your shoulder blades. If you'd like a firmer stretch, you can lean to the side. Squeeze your core to come up. Slide your hand down, push that hand down further between your shoulder blades. Lean to the side for a further stretch. Easing out of that. Now, you can use your other hand to help that hand up the back. It's all within your limits of discomfort. And now we're trying to interlink those fingers. Once you're in position, get the elbow tucked close to the head, tummy in, tailbone down, and gently pinch your shoulder blades. And swap sides. So if you need to, use that other hand to help the hand up higher behind your back or within your limits of discomfort, and interlink those fingers. We often are a little tighter on one side, so you can just use that other hand to help work the hand up the back. And easing out of that. And you're going to take the arms back. Now they're back behind the torso. And I'm just going to show you with the wrist. What we're doing is flexing back through the wrist. The hand is back behind your torso. So flex back through those wrists. There's a nerve stretch as well. So if you are getting any tingling, because of stretching through those nerves, pinch your shoulder blades, flex back through those wrists. Take the thumbs back as well and stretch it back. And release. If you've got any tingling, just give it a little shake. Standing spine roll. Hopefully you've loosened up and warmed up and every part has worked. Breathe in, roll forward. Breathing out, chin to chest, roll it down. Notice how far down you are reaching. Let your head dangle, let your arms dangle. Press the tailbone up towards the ceiling. Your shoulder blades into pocket. Use those abdominals to support your spine and curl all the way up. And be sure to let me know if you have any special requests for Wednesday. Otherwise, enjoy your week. Well done, and see you on Wednesday. Goodbye.